Yes, we do have an epic lineup for you, and here it is. Johan Kristoffersen, the reigning Rallyx champion, 4-time world champion, current world champion in the family-run polo. Niklas Gronholm in the World Championship spec Hyundai. On the front row this time. We know that's where he needed to be yesterday if he wanted to deny Kristoffersen. Sondre Evjen with a great drive to hold off his teammate OC Vaby in the semi-final, with Bolevsky up in 4th place on the grid. Can he make that outside line up to turn 1 work if everybody moves across to the inside, and then bringing up the rear, OC Vaby hasn't been afraid to get stuck in turn 1, turn 2 this weekend, or indeed back in Hollius, and particularly in the semi-final when he ran the front tyre, I am convinced, along the same Armco that claimed him yesterday. No fear. Thomas Brintersen, yesterday's winner.
Quick tyre info. I think it's Vaby that's got new fronts. It's at least one of the JC cars. I think it's Vaby. Yeah, two new front. Kristoffersen, everyone else on used, but Kristoffersen's tyres, Molly says, look very good.
So Kristoffersen tried to hold some rubber back for the battle against Niklas Gronholm on the front row. Gronholm really wants to find the form that he's just been missing a little bit. Can he do it? Watch for Evjen and Bolevsky on row 2. Oh, great start by Evjen from row 2, but a good start by Kristoffersen. Bolevsky moves across, shuts the door, slots into 3rd on the inside. No, he doesn't. Vaby's going to get into that gap. Sideways for Gronholm. In the background, 3 cars wide. They're going to need to funnel out of that. In the wall again, Brintersen ends up towards the outside. Dust flies up. And Brintersen, P5, who is it? I think it's Evjen who's up in P3 and Vaby who's down in P4. But it's Kristoffersen versus Gronholm out front, and there is Bolevsky in the wall. That's on the outside though, so we should get this carrying on.
Oh, Bolevsky unlucky there, wasn't he? I think Vaby may have broken something because the car was moving all over the place. Look at the dent in the door. Brintersen ducks off into the Joker on this opening lap. Niklas Gronholm up front. He's all over the back of Johan Kristoffersen.
Oh, Gronholm maybe letting Kristoffersen know he's there. He had everybody letting them know that they were there when we raced here in the wet in 2020. Gronholm is looking really racy now. Right up behind Kristoffersen. Kristoffersen rarely gets this kind of pressure from behind. Often Joker strategy gets split much earlier. Over the crest now and down into the braking zone. Niklas might let him know again. Does he? He's not quite close enough. There's 10 centimetres in it.
Doesn't need to let him know he's there. Kristoffersen will be well aware that Gronholm is there. Kristoffersen gets over-rotated. Is he going to go wide into the Joker? No, he's going to shut the door on Niklas Gronholm. Niklas is on the inside. He's going to try and get back to the inside through this penultimate corner. He's got the nose in. He hasn't got the traction. Coming into the final corner, try and keep it tight to get the power down. Kristoffersen's doing a masterclass of defence here.
He's trying so hard, but the rotation angles on the Polo suggest that the tyres are not as good as we thought in the pre-grid. Struggling for that rear end grip. Gronholm is looking up the inside every single time he can. Let's watch again and see if it happens in this section. In the background, meanwhile, Vaby and Brintersen are both Joker, but they're some 11 seconds back, so they're out of the picture. Vaby is just Evjen, who's 1.9 seconds back. This is all about Gronholm versus Kristoffersen. This time, Kristoffersen gaps him.
Yeah, got much better drive out of the hairpin. Gronholm a little bit further back now, was really applying the pressure. Vaby, I'm here, he's got broken suspension in the background, but Evjen's just in the Joker window, isn't he? So they can't afford to Joker Gronholm into the JC Audi just at the moment, but they're going to have to split the strategy because Niklas hasn't managed to find a way past Kristoffersen so far.
More rotation from Kristoffersen in the right-hander.
And of course the yellow flags there, Andrew, really affect things too.
Yeah, they can't make a pass in that section, though, to be fair. I mean, actually, if you ran wide,
into it, though.
A lot of the passes have been, but yeah, you can lift through there, can't you? Through the long left-hander again. Look at the Polo sliding. The Hyundai's a bit straight, and now Niklas Gronholm dives into the Joker laps. Got to get this perfect if he wants to stand a chance of beating Kristoffersen. The entry's great. The exit too. Finds some grip on their way out. Now onto the start-finish straight. What's the gap going to be as they come over the line? Kristoffersen has a lead of 2.3. It's a big gap.
A 39.7 last time around for Johan Kristoffersen. He's also done the fastest lap of the weekend so far with a 39.599 earlier in the race. This is all about what Niklas Gronholm can do now and if he can close the gap.
Here we go then, the 4-time world champion, the Rallyx champion, the winner of the first 2 rounds. Didn't go his way yesterday. He's got just a few corners to go. Kristoffersen into the Joker lap. Now it's got to be a good one because Gronholm was pretty tight. Where's Gronholm on the outside? It's going to be tight. The Hyundai's going to have a good exit, but I reckon he's got it. Kristoffersen has, through the long right-hander. It's the 3rd time on the top step of the podium, 4th podium for Kristoffersen this year. Gronholm P2, and Evjen comes around to take a deserved P3. First couple of laps were fire, but Kristoffersen then just gapped Niklas a little bit, and the breathing space allowed him to stop cooking the tyres and keep the polo a bit straighter.
Managed that pressure so well early on in the race, didn't he? Then, like you say, Andrew, just managed to pull a little bit of a margin. There's all sorts of broken cars in the background. Brinderson, another strong points finish, and Veiby has made it to the end despite that broken rear suspension. Wow.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Done. I'm done as well. Hal, it's been a pleasure, mate. Welcome back.
Shame for Bolevsky. He's had a pretty turbulent weekend, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? It's the learning curve is still steep, and Kouvola's turn 3 is
he made a great start, Bolevsky, then came out the throttle. What happens behind? So this is Veiby on the inside. Kristoffersen made another great start.
Watch Veiby pop the curb, but he actually slides. It doesn't hit him there, but then here, look.
Something's happened to Brinderson already, because he hasn't got the drive out of 2 that you would expect. Oh, this will be a great shot to see what's going on. Brinson's lost ground there for some reason, and 3
into 1 that I said, didn't I? They're 3 wide, that's not going to work, and it didn't. This was the point at which I thought Gronholm's got this. I really thought he was going to get it. Johan looks across to Niklas, no eye contact so far.
Body language says a huge amount, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Johan, congratulations, that's a win here in Kouvola, and what a final under a lot of pressure from Niklas during those laps.
Yeah, I saw it was quite close at the beginning of the race, but I had a good start, and from there on felt very comfortable, felt very nice. So yeah, I was saving a bit of tires first 2 laps, didn't overcook them, open up a gap a little bit on 3rd lap, knew that Niklas kind of joked the lap after, so gave myself a little bit of breathing just before the lap before he jokered, and yeah, I managed to squeeze on a good lap on the last run. So also so very pleased about the guys that have been working so hard during the weekend, and like with all the partners we have, we push every little limit on everything, trying to improve to keep up with the tough competition. So yeah, we are really giving it everything, and pressing all the small details we can, and that also makes everything a little bit more fragile. But at the same time, it's even sweeter when you make it win.
Impressive, well done.
Thank you.
Kristoffersen alluding to the effort made by the team this weekend, and KMS have made it very clear that they are using every opportunity to prepare all of their guys all of the time for everything they do, and that includes needing to change gearboxes and reset the car up in difficult circumstances like today, as much as it is about giving Kristoffersen seat time. And wow, what a job he did in the final. So often we see him with the ultimate pace fighting at the front, and okay, he did have the ultimate pace because he set the fastest lap, but Niklas Gronholm is one of the greatest rallycross drivers in the world and applied massive pressure there in the early stages.
I always think, this is maybe a slightly strange thought, but the colours of Gronholm's car, when they're in your mirror, you're right there, and he was all over the back of him. To be fair, Gronholm withstood that pressure here a couple of years ago, and that was equally brilliant in very treacherous conditions, but just Kristoffersen, even with the crazy, yaw angles on the car, knowing that Gronholm's right there, and a little nudge just send him slightly further. But yeah, here is Niklas.
Niklas, congratulations with Peter. You don't look too happy, but obviously all you guys want to do is win, but you were all over him there. It could have been him, it could have been you. It was him this time. How are you feeling?
Yeah, first loser 2 times in a row doesn't feel too good. I tried, and I made a small mistake, which he took a 2-3 car lengths on me on lap 4, I guess, and that was the lap I had the joker, and yeah, from there on it was difficult. I would try to catch him, but it's not that easy, and there was places he gained and where I gained, and yeah, the last 2 laps I couldn't do anything. I tried my everything, and sad to admit that he was better in the final.
And it is your birthday today, of course. How is that going to be celebrated?
Well, not too much, I think. Let's do the podium and then slowly go back home.
Hal is actually asking me if the yellow flag made a difference.
Well, all I can say is that he braked, Johan braked a bit more the laps I followed him in there, and then I saw that his brakes light were not on when I had taken my joker. So that's all I know about that, but not much else to it.
Enjoy the rest of your birthday.
Thank you.
So yeah, no big celebrations there, but Hal, yeah,
then,
great spot there. You did say during the race, we know it's the one place you can slide wide, but you can just back it up, can't you?
Yeah, and that's how you use that situation to your advantage as a driver. You know that you can't be overtaken. It's illegal by the rules of the race. So, you would always come out the throttle that little bit more, brake that little bit early, and then because of the nature of this track, you can defend then easily into the next corner. Molly's down with Sondre Evjen, who finished on the podium.
Sondre, congratulations with 3rd place. I think that it's safe to say that reflects your driving and your pace this weekend. Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been a bit behind those two, but the rest, in the final I made a mistake or I was pushed or something in turn 2, but the rest was good, and then it was just about, I think there was nobody behind. I think everybody had a problem, so it was just about saving the tires and having fun in the rest of the final.
How comfortable are you with that S1 now?
It's good. We're lacking the top 3 tenths maybe on at least the Johan. Niklas is a little bit uneven sometimes, but yeah, I think we're good.
Enjoy the podium.
Thank you.
Feeling pretty chilled, I would say, about his performance.
Really come on as a driver, hasn't he, Sondre?
Yeah.
You mentioned that earlier, but I think as an all-rank rallycross athlete as well, he seems to be enjoying it a lot more than he used to as well, and I think that obviously has a great effect in the car too.
I can't remember who it was that said, it might have been Fraser who said earlier on that learning in a supercar, you make mistakes, it's very expensive, which it is. And I always felt that Evjen was just holding back a little bit whilst learning the car, and just watching him this weekend and last weekend too, I feel that Evjen is now pushing the car to the limit. You can see that comfort in the car, but what he says is interesting too. I'm missing the 3 tenths, and that's it's not necessarily any extra risk, is it? It's one curb, it's 10 centimeters here, and nicking a 10th out of 3 different corners might be the difference.
And that's the difference between very, very good drivers and the great drivers. Now, not to say that Sondre can't be one of the great drivers, but Kristoffersen and Gronholm are right up there, and that is the difference.